Hey guys, before the video starts, I have just posted my Bound for Glory predictions on my second channel. You can check it out, you can subscribe to it. I've also got a reaction video on there you can also check out. But yeah, check it out, link down in the description below, and let's get into this video. What's going on guys, it's Tom, or Talks and Wrestling, and welcome back to another video on the channel. And you know what? I've recently been quite enjoying the Impact product. I think the build to Bound for Glory 2020, which is taking place tomorrow, and I'm doing a live stream for, check it out, has been very decent, and I'm looking forward to the show. So I thought today I'd review the Go Home show. This video most likely won't do too well, but you know what, I want to talk about it, and if you guys want me to do weekly Impact reviews, I will happily do that. Before we get into it though, I'd like to thank all my Patreon backers for more exclusive content. Check out my Patreon links down below. It would really help me during these trying times, and of course, would be very much appreciated. But let's stop wasting time and let's talk about the show.
Greetings and salutations, this is Almighty Christopher Daniels, sometimes known as the Fallen Angel, but always known as the greatest wrestler in the world, your mom's favorite wrestler, your dad's favorite wrestler, the world's favorite wrestler. I'm also a paragon of virtue, an inspiration to children everywhere, and the man with the rear that makes the girls cheer. And while you're watching me, I'm telling you, you're also watching Top 10 Wrestling, so congratulations.
The show opens with a 5-way match. We have Heath, Cousin Jake, Alicia, and Rhino. Last week, these 5 were a team, and they were winning a 10-man tag match, leading to this match here. All 5 of them are in the Bound for Glory Call Your Shot Gauntlet. Whoever wins this match enters at 20, and whoever is pinned enters at 1. So at the start, Alicia's kind of annoyed. She's like, no one's taking me seriously, and like she starts shoving and slapping people. Hernandez then picks her up and puts her to the side, and the match properly begins. The 4 men all start fighting on the outside, and Alicia dives onto everyone on the outside. Jake trips up Alicia and then apologizes for it. The 4 men fight in the ring. Alicia then squares up to Hernandez, who tries to border toss her, but Jake saves her. She slaps Hernandez. Rhino then goes for the gore, but Hernandez dodges, and Rhino just gored Alicia, and it looks absolutely brutal. Hernandez rolls up Rhino and wins the match, so Hernandez will enter at 20, and Rhino will enter at 1. Oh boy. We get a hype package for EC3 versus Moose, where we see EC3 and Moose brawling. Moose then sits down with Jimmy Jacobs for his sit-down interview. Moose answers the questions with very short answers, and Jimmy says that, "You don't seem okay, man," which leads to him flipping out and storming out the interview, and then Jimmy is just abducted by men in hoods. So that happened. We then see Johnny Bravo, and he is fuming that his wedding with Rosemary next week is not going to plan and hasn't been sorted out yet, and he's shouting at some members of the roster. Tenille Dashwood comes in and starts getting modeling shots. Taya Valkyrie walks in and she's like, yo, you need to calm down, where did you pick up this rude behavior from? And then Bravo storms off. We then see a hype package for Dionna Perazo versus Kylie Ray, with Dionna cutting a promo. She cuts a promo basically putting herself over, saying how she's going to beat Kylie Ray at Bound for Glory, puts over the Knockouts title as the most prestigious title in Impact, and honestly, she's right, it is. But this promo is really good, and in my opinion, Dionna Perazo is the biggest star in Impact today. I think she becomes a bigger star every week. She's so good in the ring, so good on the mic, she carries herself like a star, she's brilliant, and I really think that Dionna versus Kylie Ray should main event Bound for Glory. I really think it should. I really don't get how WWE screwed up Dionna Perazo. She's one of the best in the world right now, like honestly. We have some knockouts action next, as is Rosemary versus Jessica Havoc, and if Rosemary wins, then Father James Mitchell will be resurrected for the wedding next week. It's a short but sweet match here. Rosemary and Havoc are both great, they have very good chemistry, and Rosemary gets the win with 2 spears, and so James Mitchell will be resurrected. We then get more hype for Kylie Ray versus Dionna, this time coming from Kylie Ray's end, where she's cutting a promo, hyping up her match with Dionna Perazo. Good stuff from Kylie Ray here, definitely not as good as Dionna's promo, but still some good stuff. I can't wait for this match. We then go back and see the abduction of Jimmy Jacobs continuing. Jacobs has been inducted in order to interview EC3 now. EC3 says the narrative has changed, and he just hypes up his Bound for Glory match with Moose. It's some alright stuff. Next up we have Sammy Callahan versus Eddie Edwards, and Honestly, it feels like I've seen this match in Impact so many times, and it's kind of mad that it's happening again in 2020, but the reason it's happening is because Eddie Edwards is facing Ken Shamrock at Banff of Glory, who is partners with Sami Callahan, and you know what, to be fair, it was actually a good match. I'm just kind of bored of these two facing each other at the moment, and I'm not invested in Eddie Edwards whatsoever. The finish sees Sami Callahan touch his phone and everything starts glitching out. Shamrock then appears, Edwards is distracted, Callahan rolls him up and wins, and then there's a brawl after the match. So it was alright, I guess. It was good. But next up, we have a 6-person tag team match. It's Willie Mack, TJP, and Trey versus Chris Bay, Jordan Grace, and X Division champion Rohit Raju. These 6 are competing in a scramble match at Banff of Glory for the X Division title. In this match, basically, Bay and Grace don't want to tag in Rohit, and they kind of control the match themselves, and eventually they do reluctantly tag him in, and it all kind of goes south from there. It all kind of starts going wrong. They all get in the ring and start hitting big moves on each other, including Grace hitting a spine buster to Willie Mack, which was so awesome. Kind of wish they saved an interaction between the two of them for Banff of Glory, because they're probably the 2 strongest people in the match, and I would have loved to see them just like clubbing each other, just like beating the piss out of each other. Like something like that would be so awesome to see. But yeah, Rohit hits the flying knee on Trey and goes for the pin, but he's not legal, so then Bay pins him, but Trey kicks out. Bay hits the springboard cutter, but Rohit tagged himself in, so there's more confusion about who's legal. Bay gets annoyed, hits the cutter on Rohit, and then Trey pins Rohit to win the match for his team. Decent match here. I really want Jordan Grace to win at Banff of Glory. I don't think she will. Spoiler for my predictions. I don't think she will. Would really like her to, but I reckon this scramble match at Banff of Glory could be really good. We get a hype package for Eric Young versus Rich Swan, which has been a very good feud, I must say. Eric Young then has a sit-down interview where he talks about how he's changed and how Rich Swan learned that the hard way. This match could be good, like I said, and then Rich Swan comes out and starts, they start beating up each other outside, having a big brawl. This most likely will be the main event. Again, Dionna versus Kylie Ray should be the main event. I really believe that, but either way, I think this match will be good. And now on to the main event for the show. It's the North, Ethan Page and Josh Alexander, versus the Good Brothers, Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson, for the first time ever. This match was okay, it was good, a good TV match, I would say. The match is thrown out in the end, which I think was the right decision. No one should be losing going into a title match, because obviously it's a 4-way at Bound for Glory. It's these 2 teams, Ace Austin and Madman Fulton, and the Motor City Machine Guns, who all of which come out and they all start brawling each other. It's a big brawl to close the show, with the Good Brothers standing tall, which means they're not winning at the pay-per-view. But yeah, that was Impact this week. I enjoyed the show this week. I thought it was solid from top to bottom. The women's stuff was brilliant as always. The tag match was really good. Sami Callahan and Eddie Edwards had a good match. Good stuff all round. I enjoyed it. Just to quickly run through the Bound for Glory card, we have the Call Your Shot Gauntlet. We have Ace Austin and Madman Fulton versus the Good Brothers versus the North versus the Motor City Machine Guns for the tag titles. We have Ken Shamrock versus Eddie Edwards. We have Dionna Perazo versus Kylie Ray. We have a 6-way scramble match for the X Division title. And we have Eric Young versus Rich Swan. And of course, EC3 versus Moose. But yeah, that's the card for Bound for Glory, and that's it for this video, guys. If you want to see my Bound for Glory predictions, check out my second channel, links down below. Top link in the description will be the video, or I'll put the video on my end screen coming up shortly. That's it, guys. Like the video, subscribe, notifications on. Let me know if you want me to do weekly Impact reviews, because I will if you guys want me to. And yeah, goodbye, and keep on rolling.